initially the story was that Devin Booker reportedly was interested in going to the New York Knicks, right? I'd never heard that before. I'd never heard any link from him to the Knicks or anything like that as far as someone to go there. It was always Pistons for me. But later, Stephen A. Smith clarified it and said that Devin Booker apparently doesn't want out of Phoenix, but if he were to get moved, that would be the place that he would want to go. So Stephen A. Smith doing a little PR damage control, trying to clean up a statement, but it sounds like Devin Booker doesn't want out, according to what he was saying, but if he were to get traded somewhere, that would be his destination. But we all know D-Book want to come home. So what's your thoughts on that?
You know, the thing with Stephen A., man, Stephen has been caught in the past making elephant lies out of his behind. You know what I'm saying? So, I remember when KD checked him. I remember when James Harden checked him. Like, listen, man, you ain't talked to nobody in my camp about nothing. You didn't hear nothing. Right. And I think that's what this is. I think Stephen A. is just trying to put the idea out there and let it be heard to Devin Booker. Like, hey, you will fit really nice on this New York team. You know what I'm saying? We already got a point guard over here doing this thing. So, right. I get it. I get it, but don't put false narratives out there. As far as with Devin Booker not wanting to leave, that's the professionalism in an NBA player. You're not gonna just flat out say, "Okay, I'm ready to leave," unless you somebody like Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? When D-Book saying that, you don't know what his real thoughts is. You don't know who, what team he wants to go to, or if he wants to go home with the Pistons. That'd be nice. Yeah. Play alongside of Cade Cunningham, man. And right the ship and, get on this wagon with the rest of the Detroit teams and bring the Pistons back to, where they supposed to be, man. So, downtown showed out during this draft. We show out for our teams. Our teams are good. We're going to do whatever we can for our team. We're going to show up and show out. And if we can get that Pistons team to start winning, man, obviously adding someone like Devin Booker and adding a few more veterans, that's actually going to help the squad, help Cade Cunningham. It's going to be big time. Right.
Absolutely, bro. And I honestly think that's another feather in the cap for another reason as to why Devin Booker would want to come play in Detroit is we saw the success that he had with our current coach, his former coach, Monty Williams at Phoenix, right? He led them from a bottom-feeding team, not even making the playoffs, right? Remember that when he hit that shot over PG in the bubble and Kawhi, both of them made the shot buzzer beater and all that? They weren't even in the playoffs that year, but the following year, when Monty Williams, they went to the finals. So he went from that to now playing with the coach with arguably more talent now, right, as far as star power, but they can't even get out of the first round. So I think it's pretty clear at this point that Frank Vogel is not the coach for this team the way it's currently constructed, right? It just doesn't work for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant needs to be set up in certain spots on the floor. Once he gets to those spots, it's unguardable. But you still got to be able to get him there to those spots. And Frank Vogel is not really good at understanding how to do that. So my point being is that Frank Vogel, in my opinion, is not the coach for Phoenix Suns. And so from Devin Booker going for Monty Williams, somebody who was a great coach for him and the team, getting them to the finals, to going to a Frank Vogel who had just came from the finals with the Lakers and now coming here and not fitting, is another reason for me, for Devin Booker to look around and say, what am I still doing here? What are the reasons that I'm still here? You know what I'm saying? So we got to wait and see, but I think everything is kind of pointing to him possibly really wanting to strongly consider coming back home.
My thing with Frank Vogel, man, what I think of him as a coach, he's more of an Eastern Conference style coach. He's not a Western Conference style coach. He's a coach that's going to implement defense and play the right way. It's something that we see over here in the Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant, those guys over there, him, Bill, those guys need an offensive-minded coach that's going to set them up for shots. Yep. And put them in the best position to win. Those dudes are not going to go and try to play lockdown defense. It's not what's so for the Phoenix Suns to even bring him as a coach to me is an insult.
It's crazy because their first choice was Tyronn Lue, but the Clippers wouldn't let him out of his deal. So this is the second time Frank Vogel has been the second fiddle coach to Tyronn Lue. The Lakers wanted him. So once again, Frank Vogel was wanted because Tyronn Lue was not available. So the writing is on the wall as far as I'm concerned. Like you said, he doesn't fit the style of play. So unless you're going to bring in a roster that is going to fit that style of play, which means move Kevin Durant. You're not going to do that for a coach. You're not going to move off a franchise player for a coach's playing style if that guy is Kevin Durant. So if I'm Devin Booker, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing a recipe for success. And if he's trying to win a championship at age 27, right in the prime of his career, this is the time to at least start moving in that direction. Because right now, even though the Phoenix Suns may be in a better spot currently than we are, trajectory-wise, we're going the opposite way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it will make more sense for him to try to jump on the train while it's moving in that direction. I ain't never seen him wearing no New York Knicks gear. I don't know about you. I don't ever see no orange and blue skies on him. I see that Detroit D. I see blue and white. I see red and white. I see Detroit colors.
You know, players like that, you gotta move heaven and earth to try to get here. If you're the Pistons, get them here, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That solves a lot of the issues. That solves a lot of what we was just talking about.
Yep.
You know, get him in. That's the type of guy that you need to bring in here and put next to Cade. You know what I'm saying? But not only next to Cade, but all of these young guys.
All the young guys. Yeah.
They need the guy. They need the example in front of them. Somebody who actually is doing it.
I was thinking about this the other day. Having a guy like Booker, I think will help bridge the gap for a lot of these young guys when it comes to how Monty Williams likes to coach. Think about Jaden Ivey. If, like, let's just say there's a Booker trade, and let's say a guy like Ivey is still here. We know there was a lot of disconnect between Jaden Ivey and Monty Williams this year.
Right.
Having a guy like D-Book pull him aside, listen, bro, this is what he's really trying to say. Don't get flustered by this and that. But here's what he's trying to say. This is his point. I went through the same thing when I was in my first season with him. My vet told me this. Having a guy like Booker who played for him and was able to have success playing for him to bridge that gap for these young guys who maybe are still trying to find their way when it comes to Monty will go a long way, bro. Long way.
Where that move away, you know what I'm saying, that move, that those one or two guys that can just change this whole thing. Yeah. And I think that's where we have to move heaven and earth to do that. We just have money just sitting. It's time to use it, bro.
It's time, bro.
It's time to use that money.
I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the know. I got a basic.